What's going on, everybody? It's Joel here, and today we're going to be doing the review of the NOBULL Rec Trainer. Alright, so the Rec Trainer is the latest do-everything shoe that NOBULL released probably about a month ago, and since I've gotten them, I've been using them for just about everything. At their core, they are still a training shoe. So if you're looking for an everything shoe that's more on the soft and plushy side, this is not going to be the one for you. But if you're looking for like a travel shoe that you can do some serious workouts in and also use to blend in to almost any situation, then I think the Rec Trainers are going to fit the bill. So first off, let's take a look at the construction of this shoe. So they sport a one-piece knit upper, and as you can see, there are no seams throughout the whole upper of the shoe. I guess you could kind of say that this back paneling right here is a seam, but otherwise it's a very minimalistic looking shoe, as are most NOBULL shoes in general. So the only logos that you have are the NOBULL logo on the side and the horns at the back. But I gotta be honest with you, I don't really think it changes the look and dynamic of the shoe. It's still a very low-key, minimalistic looking shoe. Now the upper on this shoe is that knit fabric, but unlike other knit fabrics, it's not really stretchy. It's breathable and it's flexible. It's just not really stretchy. And I like it that way because it makes it more like a training shoe that you would want to lift in. So it does still contain your foot. The lacing system on this shoe is a webbed design, but it's pretty much just limited to the outside of the upper of the shoe. There's nothing that goes in through the sides of the shoe to give you, like, I don't know, more of like a fly wire type fit. But I gotta be honest with you, I had no troubles finding a nice lockdown fit when I wanted to with these shoes on. You still can kind of pull these shoes on if you just kind of wanted to slip them on and not have to worry about the laces. There is like that much stretch in the upper, but they are not a full sock-like design, so at some point you're probably gonna have to untie and retie your laces. The laces themselves are actually pretty good. They're like a fat kind of lace. They remind me of the old Superstar laces that people used to wear in high school, but they stay tied, so I'm not going to really talk too much more about them. The insole of this shoe is a molded anatomical sock liner, and unlike other NOBULL sock liners, I haven't had an issue with these slipping or sliding around. Maybe it's due to the construction of the shoe, but they stayed in place. The ankle collar on these shoes is a little bit more on the open side. There is some cushioning. I think it's very comfortable, and I think the reason for it being open is actually by design so that you can just easily put these shoes on, take them off, and not really have to worry about unlacing your shoes all the time. So now taking a look at the bottom of the shoe. So this kind of has a vulcanized design. So there's a rubber strip that goes around the edges of the shoe. And then at the bottom of the shoe, there is the midsole. So the midsole is actually the outsole on the shoe as well. It's an outsole grade EVA, and it seems to be holding up just fine. The grip on it is actually pretty good. It's got that herringbone design, but I will say that this is not the shoe that you want to rope climb in, because I did burn it a little bit, so it's not immune to rope climbs. I definitely would not recommend. I just tried it just to try it, but I would not recommend these shoes to rope climb in. The actual midsole itself has got a 9mm stack in the front and then a 13mm stack at the rear, making these a 4mm drop shoe, and also the lowest to the ground shoe that you can get from NOBULL. The feel of the EVA is cushioned enough, but like I said before, it does lean a little bit more on the training shoe side, so it's not squishy, it's not soft, but I think it's flexible and comfortable enough for daily wear. So if you're not running too hard, you're not jumping too hard, then I think that these are going to be plenty comfortable. Now, another great thing about these shoes is that they are fairly light. I got a men's size 10.5 at 308 grams or 10.86 ounces. Okay, so when going to size your Rec Trainers, I'm going to recommend that you go with whatever you're wearing in your normal NOBULL trainer size. So these size pretty similar. The width in the toe box is actually a little bit bigger on the Rec Trainers than on the standard trainers, but these do not run quite as big as the Trainer Plus, though if that's all you're working with, I would probably just get whatever you're wearing in the Trainer Plus just to be safe with the rec trainers. Compared to Reebok and Nike, that is gonna be half a size up from Reebok and the same exact size as my Nike sizing. The toe box on these shoes is actually pretty spacious to me. It's pretty airy and just like open. There's a lot of space on top of it. So it's fairly comfortable, though I will say that the part around the metatarsals does require a little bit of breaking in. And I think that's just the design of the shoe because of the way that the sidewalls are made. My right bunion was kind of resting at the top of the sidewall, so it did require a little bit of break-in, but now these shoes are totally comfortable for me and I don't have any issues with hot spots at all. Other than that, the shoe is pretty flat and neutral. It feels kind of like a pair of Vans, though I think that they are much wider than a normal pair of Vans are. The fit around the ankle is not super secure because of just the way that the shoes are designed. You can lace it up and get it a little bit tighter, but just realize that these shoes are not meant to be like the ultimate performance shoe. So if that's something that's gonna bother you, it's worth taking that into consideration before picking these shoes up. When it comes to flexibility, the rec trainers are actually really, really good. These are very, very flexible shoes. And if you're comparing them to something like Vans Old Schools, because of the amount of flexibility that these shoes have, it makes them a lot more comfortable to wear on the daily. Plus, they're a lot lighter than a standard pair of Vans would be. The cushioning that they have is not on the soft side. So if that's what you're looking for, I'd say a pair of Vans Old School might actually have better cushioning than these shoes do, but these would have a better platform for your lifting movements when it came down to that. Would I run in these shoes? I mean, I would be okay running, shorter distances like in a CrossFit workout, 200, 400 meters at a time. I definitely wouldn't want to run a mile in these shoes, a couple mile in these shoes, and the reason for that is because of the more flat bottomed outsole, and it just kind of makes the shoe feel a little bit more clunky. And when I use these for Metcons, I use them for like double unders, and I use them for a workout that had a lot of box jump overs. I did notice that the cushioning was kind of on the dense side, and it made my feet more sore than I would feel on the other training shoes that I'd be using, or dedicated training shoes. But if you're used to the cushioning in the standard trainer, then I think that you would be okay in the rec trainers as well. What I really liked these shoes for was lifting. I thought that these were a really good lifting shoe, despite the fact that they have more of a flexible upper and the shoe itself is just generally flexible. I liked that they had a really flat bottomed outsole. So the outsole ridges are also very well defined, like a pair of Vans would be. That made doing my squatting movements, doing deadlifting movements feel like a breeze because of the amount of ground contact that you get and the effort that is required to maintain that ground contact. Since these are just very flat, you don't ever have to worry about getting pitched forward. The 4mm drop is generally flat and it's not gonna get in the way of your deadlifting movements. Plus that really short stack height is something that you want when it comes to responsiveness for deadlifting. For Olympic weightlifting movements, I also thought that these shoes did really well because of that flat contact outsole and the density of the midsole foam. They never felt squishy. I felt like power delivery and responsiveness was right on point. And I thought the landings in this shoe were very stable. The grip is excellent, plus the sidewalls and the way that the outsole is shaped makes it so that you feel pretty stuck to the ground when you do your landings. So generally I found lifting in the rec trainers to be the best part of this shoe, other than the fact that you could wear it daily. All right, so when it comes to the price, I think that the rec trainers are a little bit overpriced at $130. They are in line with the standard trainer. They cost more than the canvas trainer, which is also a shoe that I like and I feel like you could also wear daily. Though I do think that the rec trainer is a better lifting shoe than the canvas trainer because of the minimal toe spring angle on these shoes, the more flat contact feel of them. But I still think, for the price, if you wanted an all-day kind of shoe, you could just get the canvas trainers for $110. So when you're buying this shoe, you're really just buying versatility. You're buying something that you can wear daily and not look like you're wearing a pair of athletic shoes, but you can also take into the gym and you can throw down some serious weights. You can do some real workouts in these shoes without really compromising all that much. These shoes have a classic sneaker vibe to them and they're very unassuming, but at the same time, they're very capable training shoes. Like, the only thing that you really wouldn't want to do in these shoes is run in them or rope climbs, but just about anything else, they're gonna handle that just fine. I think that the best part of the shoe is the fact that they're a really good lifting shoe. I think if powerlifters find out about this shoe, they're gonna really like this platform for their lifts because it is a little bit more on the unassuming side. It doesn't look like a training shoe would look. It's more capable than a pair of Chucks or a pair of Vans, and they are easier to wear day in and day out. Are there better performing training shoes? Absolutely. I still think the normal NOBULL trainer is a better pair of training shoes. I think the Trainer Plus is a better pair of training shoes. The Canvas trainer is kind of on par with the shoe. I don't like lifting in the Canvas trainer, but I think that it's a little bit more comfortable in the way that the midsole is. But overall, I think that when you take everything into consideration, the way that these look, the way that they perform, how comfortable they are, I think that for $130, it is justified, but I still think that they should be priced a little bit lower to not contend so much with the standard trainer. That being said, I really like the RECS trainers a lot more than I thought I was gonna like this shoe, and I'm gonna continue to wear it because this is probably actually the most worn shoe that I have right now. It's something that I put on almost every day because of the ease of wearing it. It goes with everything. I can slip them on, I can work out in them, I can coach in them all day, I can walk around in them. They're unassuming, and just overall, they're a really nice pair of shoes to have around. So if you guys have any questions about the RECS trainer, feel free to leave them in the comment section. And as always, guys, please hit that like button, subscribe, and thanks for watching.